And welcome to Northumberland Street. This is the main district of Newcastle city centre. It's where all the shops and food places are, and it's only a 2-minute walk away from campus. So if you just follow me, we'll keep walking down the street and let's go. Alright, so just up ahead here, there's a fruit stall that's always on Northumberland Street around this part, just in front of Pret a Manger. And you'll always hear the fruit guys saying something like 2 punnet strawberries for a pound, and they do some good bargains. Like I just said, 2 punnet strawberries for a pound, and it's some good bargains for students like yourselves. And yeah, so let's just keep walking. There's a Starbucks right here if you want your daily fix of coffee after class or just before class. And there's a popular shop here called Etheless, and it is where you can get some cheap bargains for lunch, and they do a bunch of stuff, a bunch of different food deals, so it's ideal. Let's keep walking. Now, I remember when I was a kid, Northumberland Street was a lot different than to what it was now. It wasn't as all modern and sleek as it is now with all these fancier buildings. When I was a kid, it was still more traditional looking, so that just shows how much is invested in the city. Another popular thing about Northumberland Street is that it's a popular hotspot for busking, whether that's singing, dancing, or like street performers or stuntmen. Like, buskers love to come to Northumberland Street because it's the main street with full of busy people walking down to where they need to go. And there's one up there right now doing his thing, singing, selling his CDs. So you can have a look there. And right to my right here is Eldon Square, and it's also the main shopping mall in the centre of town. And it's got loads of different shops, clothes, fashion, everything you'd want in a shopping centre. And that's the good thing about Newcastle. The northeast is known for its shopping and its big shopping malls, and it's right in the city centre. You don't have to drive a long trek anywhere. So we'll just keep walking this way to the rest of the street. Another busker there. To me, because there's lots of buskers in Northumberland Street, it almost gives it that European kind of vibe, because whenever you go around any European countries, you see a lot of buskers on the streets, so it gives it that kind of vibe as well here in Newcastle. Alright, so heading towards the end of the street now, and if you look further down there, there's a London bus for like some sort of special exhibition. Lots of attractions like to come down here to Northumberland Street just to get that busy city kind of vibe with wherever you go, and it just builds up an atmosphere that's good for living and leisure in Newcastle. Alright, so we just reached the end of Northumberland Street now. And this is normally a good spot. This is a really good Instagrammable spot. Just here, there's a nice view of Monument here and this Rolex building there. But to my left is a place called Stack, and it's a fairly new place made entirely out of metal containers. And you have lots of shops and like little mini food stalls and bars. It's a good place to hang out, like a nice edgy place to hang out and grab a bite to eat or drink there. And it's a pretty cool and lavish place. And to my right is Monument. And now we are here at Monument, which is another central part of Newcastle city centre. We've got the big statue here. You can have occasional tours that they do occasionally up to the Monument statue. You can get a panoramic view of all of Newcastle city centre. So if you go down there that way, that'll lead you to St James's Park, which is the football stadium, and it is super busy around that area during football matches on a weekend, especially during Newcastle versus Sunderland matches. And if you go down that way, just behind the Monument statue, it'll take you to the central station, the main train station that takes you to other cities in the UK. It's highly accessible to get to other cities. You don't have to take much links. It's in a main rail line. So if you go down that central station, and that is where your first stop when you first arrive here in Newcastle, to the train station, then you can walk through the city centre to get to Northumbria Uni. And this here to my right is the actual metro train stations, and it is the main sort of subway lines of Newcastle city centre and the main Tyne-and-Wear area, and it can take you to the coast, which is only 30 minutes, and to Gateshead, Sunderland is the main subway rail line. And then lastly, if you walk down that way past the Theatre Royal, it'll take you down to the quayside, which is like a long downhill walk, and it'll take you to the quayside, the iconic bridges, the Sage and the Tyne River, just down that way. 20-minute walk from here.